right now on WhatsApp.
And we're live. Let's not do
We
that.
are live.
I already emailed. Yeah,
No?
we are live. Hi, we are. Yes, we are.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm messaging in Italian right now, as in Andy Martinelli.
You are, yes.
I want to talk to him because he played a gig last night. They actually did a festival.
I know. I want to talk about that.
I know. I want to find out what the deal is over there. So,
and I heard they did a full free-form jazz exploration.
Oh, in front of a festival crowd.
Yes.
Nice. I want to hear about this free-form jazz exploration.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Camdring.
What's up,
Joe? What's up, Joe from Sinister Guitar Picks?
Hey, the Camdring, she sent a really awesome little thing in Instagram that I saw. It was basically the bass that Jackson made for me. I had it on the Countdown to Extinction tour. It was kind of like a Gibson Thunderbird with a Jackson headstock, and that bass became essentially the modern day Kelly Bird. So I was very excited to see that. She actually sussed it out, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's super cool. She's saying, "What bass is that?" I said, "Oh my God, I haven't seen that in a long time." And just as importantly, were how cool my shoes were in the video. Back on the Countdown tour when we had the Sensei out and we were doing kickboxing with Benny the Jet. And
did you have Mr. Miyagi out with you?
Almost. And I had some really bitchin'. Used to buy these Atomics kickboxing shoes, but I think on that particular one I had some really cool Nike wrestling shoes. In fact, I remember our guest we had when we did our Osei New stream with Mark Weiss. He did an awesome photo of me. Could have been from that very show, actually, over at the Capitol Theater in New Jersey, or in Philly, I guess it is. And I had those shoes on, and I was like, God dang, those are cool shoes, man. I got to try to find something like that.
Yeah, you know what's so funny? All through high school, that was my thing. I wore wrestling shoes. That was like literally.
They were rad. Very rock and roll. Yeah.
Anybody who knows me from high school will vouch for that. I wore wrestling shoes. They were awesome, man. I had really cool Asics ones, and they were dope.
Totally.
We should bring that back. We should bring that back.
I have some low top ones that I carry in my wardrobe case on the Megadeth tour, and I never seem to bring them out. But, you know, I don't know, for whatever reason, I put them on and I guess they're not that comfortable. The wrestling shoes are cool. They're dope, man. So met you guys a year ago today in Phoenix. Was that Tom?
Chris Lewis, my wife wants to leave me for you. I said, for me or for him? Probably for him. I don't think anybody wants to leave anybody for me.
Maybe both of us.
Yeah, maybe. That would be a hell of a three-way.
Interesting.
Right?
It's rock and roll, baby.
Jeez. So the Indiegogo ended for look at that segue. So the Indiegogo ended.
Well, I was going to say it's better than him saying my wife wants me to leave her for you. Like, get out of the house, fucker.
Right? Yeah, at this point that's probably more likely. At this
sick of you. I'm sick of you and your rock and roll. Get out of the house. Yeah, I get it. I can understand it. So anyway, back to the segue of the Indiegogo.
Yes, the Indiegogo is done. So we will be sending out the everybody who pre-ordered on Indiegogo or supported us on Indiegogo will be getting a digital download sometime this week. It is fully done. It is completed. It is mastered. Yay.
Yeah. Boy, what a project. You know, it's funny because you've been asking me, hey, did you listen to the final masters? And I spent so much time, you know, toward the end of the mixing of it. And then I sort of turned the master. Yeah, I turned the mastering over to you. And then you keep asking, hey, did you listen to the masters? I'm like, dude, I'm just overly saturated with no cover. I can't. I go in and I listen to snippets. Like I'll listen to, you know, the Sweet Song. And there's a couple of hidden, but they're not even hidden now. They're gems.
Yeah.
Like the ballad that you did.
Yeah, it's so funny. I listened to the Sweet Song. Dude, I love the way that Sweet FA turned out. I listened to that so much. It's one of my favorites, man. Todd just killed that song, man.
While you were having a heart attack, Todd was kind enough to come in and knock that one out for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And you know, it's funny. I did a really cool podcast with Todd last week. I was actually on vacation. I went over to California. It's funny. I went in the studio. I did a little bit of writing with Carrie Kelly, who was in Alice Cooper's band. with Jimmy DeGrasso, and then now he plays a Night Ranger. Cool guy. I've just always loved his playing. He played with Slash for a while. So we just kicked some tunes around, having some fun. And then we just was on vacation in California. And, and so Todd hit me. And so I did a little podcast with him. And he's such a sweet guy, man. Such a good dude. He's obviously the bass player in Slash's band. He's one of the conspirators, if you will.
Yes.
Slash with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. And he did a really good job on that, man.
He did. That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
and now I'm kind of bummed I didn't throw some vocals on it just because I like it so much. But he just killed it, man. Everything on that is like, it's so great. There's just these couple little spots, and Andrew Freeman from Last in Line did Over the Mountain, because again, another thing I was supposed to throw vocals on. I had my little health thing and I was out of commission. So we're like, fuck it. We'll just put it out with Andrew's vocals on it. Maybe someday I'll go sing it and we'll put out an alternate version with my vocals on it, because I do love that song. It's one of my favorite songs. That's the reason we did it, because I bugged you to do it. So I was kind of, I realized I'm like, we have to do Over the Mountain. And then I didn't even get to sing it, but Andrew did a great job. And, you know.
Well, live, you're going to have to sing it if we ever do play it. And by the way, we are going to try to go do these live shows with Saliva.
We are.
I mean, it's up and running. Yep. It's two shows in Texas, one in Louisiana over the Halloween weekend. So
San Antonio on the 30th, Slidell, Louisiana on Halloween, and Houston on the Sunday. And they're trying to add a show in Dallas actually on the Monday in Dallas, Fort Worth. So we'll see what happens. Awesome. But shows of Saliva, and A Killer's Confession is now on the bill too.
I saw that. Fun, so. It's very cool. Yeah, very cool. Yeah. I know. Yeah. It's Megadeth need to take out Body Count. Yeah, I know. That would be very cool, wouldn't it? Well, who knows? I mean, by the time things open up next year, in fact, Tom and I, obviously, we've had Australia and Japan, and that got kicked back to 2021. And we've been working on doing some European dates to get ahead of, once obviously the Megadeth record comes out, and that's happening. I'll be a little busy with that. But in between everything, and maybe a little before that happens, we're going to
cram in as much shit as we can. We're going to go and we're going to try and go out and do some shit in the Midwest, actually, in November, maybe, after seeing how these things in Texas go. Some Midwest, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Again, it's kind of our little breadbasket where we go, and Europe. Hopefully we'll get back to Europe over the beginning of the year before Megadeth gets crazy again.
Yeah. Savannah Grace, I didn't know that was your name. She has a different handle. We do some Ellefson coffee sponsorship with her. I know Larry Morton, so here it's funny. You're talking about clean living, and I agree. However, I went to the gym today to go train over at my trainer's house. And of course I pick up a weight and tweak my back, which is why I'm sitting in my comfortable chair. So I've never been in so much pain as when I've been trying to be healthy. So we had a tour manager years ago, Steve Wood, who now works with Paul Geary. Yeah, Steve Wood, and he's English, and he'd always say, he goes, David, every time you go to the gym, you need a massage, you need a chiropractor. It costs you $150. Do what I do. Do nothing. I feel fantastic.
Well, and I'll say that Dave is like the chiropractor guy. When we're on tour, like it'll be like noon, Dave's like, I gotta go find a chiropractor, bro. Like, well, it doesn't matter where we are, Dave will be off in search of. I think that's why he rents his own car half the time, just so he can go to the chiropractor.
I would go be a chiropractor, except I couldn't adjust myself, so it would do no good. So that's why I support the community of chiropractors. The truth of it is, so it's funny, today I was at the, when I was at the gym, my trainer was saying, he goes, for all these years, 37 years in Megadeth and a bunch of years before that as a kid, playing the bass, standing in sort of my battle position that I do with the bass, and every bass makes you stand a little bit different. In fact, I remember when I was playing the modulus basses, I saw some footage when we played on the David Letterman show. And I remember that one, it was the blue bass that I had, and I got rid of it. I traded it because it actually made me stand kind of weird. I sort of stood like Paul McCartney or John Lennon in the Beatles, right? I kind of had this like duck toe position. And I traded it, not for that reason, but it was interesting that when I saw myself, how I held it, it was weird. And of course the Jackson bass is a bit more of kind of battle ready position, but just repetitive motion, years and years and years of doing it. So, it does take a little toll on the body, but
I know, carrying that heavy ass bass. Oh my God.
Jesus. Oh my God. That's why I think I am going to switch to the Mini. I think
Yeah,
I'm going to have to go.
Because you use those all the time.
I'm going to have to go to the Mini, and the Mini will.
You're not going to be able to get them, though. I can't even get one. I've been trying to get one of those for like 2 months, and they're out of them.
These things have sold like crazy. These little Minis are literally like that big, So
they're the juniors.
The juniors. Yep. Yeah, they can't even keep them in stock. They make them and they sell right out. They're super high demand. See my friend chiropractor in DF, Texas. All right, done. I'll go see him. I know. I put a lot of chiropractors on the guest list. So
this is my buddy James, who we still owe him a call from months ago, and we're like, we'll do it. We'll do it this week. Yep. So yeah, we absolutely will. Cool. Yeah, he's been working on some new shit. So it's kind of like, well, let's just wait till you get it. And so yeah, so we're gonna do that this week with James down in San Diego.
Love it. So, let's do it.
Man, I kind of miss doing those. I kind of miss doing the little artist calls.
Fun.
It was fun.
Yep. And it's too bad as shit. We should have done it last week because I probably could have met him for coffee. I was actually down in San Diego area, but not now. It's funny now. Today everybody's going, "Oh, it's so like how hot is it in Phoenix? Not as hot as California." I see it's like 121 degrees or something out in the valley,
and it's on fire too. Like God, California can't get a break. And yes, Jorge Montano, we are ready for the show. We just talked about the shows in Texas like 5 minutes ago. You missed it. But yes, we are absolutely. I don't know if we're ready. I mean, we haven't played together since the Mega Cruise, but we will be ready.
Dude, literally like over a year since we played.
Isn't that crazy?
Think about that. It was October. Yeah, October last year. Yeah.
We haven't played together since the fucking Mega Cruise. I mean, it's crazy.
Unreal, man. Isn't it unbelievable? I mean, it's funny, though. We've been like working our tails off, recording, writing, working on stuff. I mean, it's not that we haven't been musically active, but it's just that the social distance, man, it's unreal. I know it does. That's why it was kind of fun just to get in the room with DeGrasso and just jam a little bit and play,
I know. Well, the other cool thing about these shows is, well, number one, Bumblefoot's going to be with us, which is always fucking amazing to play with Ron. So the shows will be me, David Bumblefoot, and Opus and Dave Sharp from Dead by Wednesday. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, that didn't sound right. No, unfortunately, Andy is in Italy and can't join us, which would be awesome. But eventually, we hope to get him over here for something. But it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a different set. I mean, we're going to be playing Simple Truth and Over Now and some of this no cover shit and a lot of this stuff live for the first time. The only time we ever played Simple Truth was when we were writing it in Italy. Like we've never played it live. It's going to be kind of crazy, man. So speaking of which, look who I found. Bumblefoot.
Hey.
And Andy Martin Jelly.
Hey.
Hey,
man.
Muchachos.
Andy, what's up, man? How you guys doing?
All we need is a drummer and y'all could form a band. Uh-oh. He's all ready to go. 1 minute show. Let's do it. All right, let's go. All right.
Where's some Asia, Ron?
Yeah, I was going to say, Ron, probably the last time you played was when you were singing for Asia, right?
Oh, no, we did the Sons of Apollo stuff in the U.S. in January, February, and then end of February, going into March, we were in Europe when the shit hit the fan, and we had to get out.
You were one of the, like, I remember we were in Europe, and no, when did you guys come home? Because I remember seeing it online. I remember Portnoy was pissed off, and he was like, I can't believe we got to come home. Oh, it was in March already.
March 4th it was.
You know why I saw that? Because we were getting ready to go to Mexico, which we ended up not being able to do too. And I remember seeing that, and it's like the shit was hitting the fan, and everything was shutting down. So.
Because here's the thing, I finally was able to trade in my car because everything was locked down and I couldn't get rid of my car because I had to renew the lease and get a new one. So I finally got it, and I have satellite radio in it, and I've been listening to just nothing but 70s and 60s on there, and a whole shitload of Liquid Metal and Octane, but mostly 60s and 70s. And you know how I'm always, like, anytime we're on the road, I'm just playing like the most unmetal stuff.
Always.
Like Tom Jones and everything.
We joke. We put a quarter in you, and you're like the jukebox in the corner. We just put a quarter in, we walk away, and you entertain us for hours. Yeah.
So on the way here, I was listening to some Dolly Parton. Here I come again. So so that's stuck in my head now for like the past 5 hours.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I'm sorry. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
No. It's funny you say that. Yesterday, when I was driving home from California, I have this Nazareth greatest hits that I listened to. And so, of course, Love Hurts was an Everly Brothers song, which we covered. And I remember Dan Huff saying that when he was working with Mutt Lange, like on the Shania Twain records, I said, what is Mutt like? He goes, Dave, he just walks around the studio all day with his acoustic guitar listening to Everly Brothers songs. Playing Everly Brothers songs, right? Not listening, but playing them, right? And I didn't know that This Flight Tonight, which is an awesome Nazareth song, was actually a Joni Mitchell song. I did not know that. And how metal is Joni Mitchell that Nazareth would cover one of her songs, and also Judas Priest with Diamonds and Rust. Right? Yeah. That's how metal Joni Mitchell is. And
Joan Baez. Same shit.
No, was it Joan Baez or Joni Mitchell? That's right. Joan Baez. You're right. Joan Baez did Diamonds and Rust. Joni Mitchell. And Joni Mitchell, though, I think was an item. Oh, no. She had Jaco Pastorius freaking play on her records.
How badass is that? And isn't it weird that you have all these metal bands that cover folk artists?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I had to get in touch with a little REO Speedwagon yesterday, too, which I remember I hadn't listened to in many years. And Kevin Cronin's basically like a folk songwriter. I remember him saying that. He goes, I just write like these little folk songs. And then we turn them into electric. And I was like, very well done. Very well done.
So you know what stuck in my head yesterday?
Yeah.
So many nights I sit by my window. All you kids out there, you don't know this before your time. I'm singing to you, Andy. Come on, all you fucking metal motherfuckers. You give me hope to carry on. You light up my day and fill my mind. I'm like totally derailing this whole damn thing. Everyone's like, talking about Megadeth, and I'm playing Debbie Boone.
It's close. I was going to say Debbie Gibson.
There's a fine line between Debbie Boone and Megadeth.
Yeah. A very fine line. Walking the razor's edge. So, Andy, what do you do? So, tell us about your festival crowd last night. Your festival that you played. You actually played legit. Yeah, and it is a funny thing. So, Andy's in Italy, Verona area, right? So, northern Italy, as we know, got hit one of the hardest, one of the first really to shut down in the whole world, and it was global news. And now here you guys are, fully opened up, having festivals. Like, how does this work? Tell us.
It was a gig. Basically, it was a gig. Like, it was just us playing. Basically, there's the band Artemis. So it was a gig it was open air, and everybody was on the tables, and distance, social distancing. But everybody was doing the right thing, and of course the because of the distance, you can't get like the crowd, everybody close as we used to. But you guys listen to your government, do the right thing, wear a mask, socially distance, and you're completely open and living life. Meanwhile, we're over here arguing. Fuck you! I'm not wearing a mask. There is no disease. It's all made up, right? And meanwhile, we can't go anywhere. We can't fly anywhere. We can't do anything. No one wants us. The UK doesn't want us. The EU doesn't. Me and Tom were supposed to come over and after Easter, we were going to go over to England. And then we were trying to make another trip over. And that, of course, got shut down. So
we were going to go hang out with Alessio in London and go mix this fucking record.
Yeah. Yep. And then and we were even talking about doing some more writing together. And I mean, we can't even leave. We can't go anywhere. So that's why I just thought it was interesting. So the Italians not only have the best food in the world, but you also have concerts now.
But the food is very good. The food is very good.
See, I'm going to debate that part, though, man. I'm not going to lie. And I've spoken about this publicly. I was not that impressed with the food in Italy. The best food I had in Italy was at those truck stops, man. Remember those truck stops we stopped at? They had like these truck stops on the side of the interstate where they had these like glorious buffet style, You remember? Well, of course, you know what I'm talking about, Andy. You can speak up. But
it's like the Sparrow food court at Newark Airport.
Exactly,
right?
but it's like a buffet at the best. Amazing.
It is pretty good. I mean, that's one where I think we would have a knockdown, drag-out fight. I'd say the food in Italy is hands down the best in the world, period. But that's just, what does a Norwegian living in America know about that?
Yeah, I'm a young white trash young buck from Wisconsin. What do I know about?
Yeah. Well, they don't have Quick Trip and they don't have Big Gulp. So I'll give you that, Tom. They don't have that over there.
They don't even have.
It's very simple. The food in the way they cook, it's very simple things. Like they don't put so much things on top of it, for pasta or whatever, lasagna. It's just few things and fresh and like fresh metal, not thrash metal. No, it's fresh food.
Fresh metal.
It's all about that. Like keep it simple and
Andy sends me food on WhatsApp. He goes, "Oh man, I'm like crushing like a MF and he's like sending me like some cannolis or some just killer freaking pizza." I know.
Picture of food. I mean, yeah, we're foodies, and especially about the sweets. I mean, I just get.
Oh man,
it's my addiction. It's the sweets.
That's why you have to box so you can eat sweets.
Even recording like the No Cover album.
Yeah,
I had like a bunch of sweets here to keep recording like 20 hours a day.
Yeah. remember we played in Verona. We went over to Andy's house. And you've got the best espresso maker and those little pods of espresso. Remember, Tom fell asleep. He actually fell asleep, but
I was so tired. God, the jet lag just kicked my ass.
Yeah. But I loved it, dude. That was like the best espresso in the world, man. It was so friggin' good. And then we went and we rocked the house and played the gig. It was awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Tom was because we I don't know. It was like the 8th or 7th gig or something. Yeah. But Tom was on the like this.
Yeah, he was sleeping. I remember you had all these desserts out. You and your wife had all these wonderful desserts laid out.
Yeah.
Every show before the show, I was fucking asleep in the dressing room. Every goddamn show.
I made a collage. That's actually going to be the cover of the next album. Is Tom sleeping
backstage?
12 backstage.
I took some pictures, so I got already got the cover. Melody can make it match. And but it was cool because every gig, like literally 2 seconds before the gig. Hey, Tom,
Hey, I was awake for the show and I was awake for sound check. That's all you needed me.
But it'll be our live album, No Sleep Till Italy, and it'll just be 12 pictures of Tom sleeping on the cover.
And then he woke up like, are you ready to rock?
Sleeping giants indeed.
Freaking awesome. All right, so Bumble, where's favorite food in the world since we're on a gastronomy kick?
There's a whole lot of good food all over the world. Italy, yeah, absolutely what you were saying about how it's just use good ingredients, cook it right, and simple is enough. And yeah, so Italy is way up there. For me, Southeast Asia, because I like the spice, I like the heat. There's a lot of fresh food over there, Mediterranean as well. Anything around the Mediterranean, you're going to get the best fish, best veggies. So absolutely, I've had some good stuff everywhere from Tunisia to Lebanon to Israel to Italy to South.
Hey, how fun! I did a gig in Lebanon with Hale. Right, we went down there, and it's so funny because you see these full Arab guys, like fully dressed out in the in the whole Arab thing, and sometimes don't they walk like holding hands from times? It's like a brotherly thing. It's like a buddy thing. Yeah, it's not like a weird sexual thing. It's just like buddies. Like sometimes you see girls doing it. They'll hold hands and it's totally legal. Whereas if two dudes do it, it's like, yo, And I remember it was like very like, wow. I mean, it's very striking because they've got the full Arab headdress and the thing on, and obviously it's cultural. But I remember then there would be these hookah bars, right, where they'd have like the hookah pipes. And of course, for us in America, because we're all like Fast Times at Ridgemont High educated, right? So we think, dude, a hookah, right? But they would like go in and they'd sit and they'd smoke and they'd have the hookah, which I guess is tobacco, unless you added something else in it. But they would have Nutella out of nowhere, they'd have these hookah with Nutella. I was like,
Yes.
I thought it's like going to a head shop, but in the windows, like a bunch of rows of Nutella, which I thought was a very interesting.
Yeah. Bahrain has really good food.
Bahrain.
Albania has excellent cheese.
Okay.
Yes.
Noted.
Lumi rivals Greece and
Writing down.
Writing this down so we can book the tour around our favorite food, which is actually at this point in life, why not? I mean, right?
Play where you want to eat.
Yeah. We're going to eat.
It's like, I feel like Italian tonight. Let's book something in Verona.
Exactly.
Well, some French, yeah.
Well, it's funny. My favorite food is spaghetti bolognese, and I got to have my birthday last year in Bologna. And that was, which, I mean, come on. It just couldn't have gotten any better. It was like in Bologna,
And it was your birthday and Tom's birthday during the tour. It was amazing.
Yes, it was. Where was your birthday at, Tom? November 4, right?
November 8th.
Or November 8. Where did we play? Were we in Milan?
And one was in...
we were in that one club where I took with the pool table. Remember where I took the pictures playing your bass?
Oh, yes. That was in Switzerland.
No.
That was up in... Yeah, right. The Italian part of Switzerland, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Remember
I think
we
you're
drove
right.
up into Switzerland. Yeah, it was the Italian part of Switzerland. So Switzerland's got the German, the French, and then the southern part's the Italian, right? What was that town, Andy? You're Italian. Tell us.
Yeah, let me. Which town was it? I mean,
it's above Lucerne.
I can't remember the name of the town.
They're Swiss.
Come on.
It doesn't matter. All we know is it's Tom's birthday, and there was a pool table.
It was.
Yeah.
But it was a good fucking birthday though.
It was. It was pretty rad. Yeah. Birthday in Europe is a good thing, man.
Oh shit! Look at this. Look who I found. Look who I found hanging out back here. It's Alessio.
What's going on?
Hey, buddy, what's happening? Speaking of Italians.
Oh, look at that. Another one.
So Alessio is our dear friend introduced to us from Andy. And Alessio is also Italian, as you might imagine by the name. But he lives in the Wembley area, literally just a couple blocks from Wembley Arena.
Yeah, literally,
Where you came to the show, the Megadeth show with Five Finger back in January. And then when the tour was done, you and me and Andy went there and we finished writing a few tunes. And you, of course, mix all the Ellefson stuff. You just mix No Covered. You mix Simple Truth, Over Now. So you are the man. So we send you files in the night and we wake up. And by the time we wake up,
I got
there's
so
magic.
many files, man, on my computer.
I can't even imagine with this No Cover record. I can't imagine how many with all the guests and oh my God, you must have so many files.
Yeah, but I had to divide everything properly. Otherwise, you lose it. There's so many people in. But at a certain point, I thought, how many people is actually on this record?
I know.
And I started counting. I thought, you know what? Whatever. Let's mix it.
So your handle online is Rogue Recording, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to follow it, man, go check out Alessio's stuff, everybody, because he's got a great console, a great room,
thanks,
a live room. Me and Andy, I tell you, we had such a great vibe. I mean, as soon as a plane will go to England, I am there. Just to let you know.
Oh, man.
So
come in.
I mean, believe me, I'm straight over there. Me and Tom we'll all Bumble come on over. We'll eat shepherd's pie. We want shepherd's pie. We're going to England. Fish chips.
Amazing.
Some black pudding.
Yeah,
everybody,
Yeah, but you have got such a great vibe in your studio, man. It is just so good, so creative.
Thanks,
I mean, we were just making magic there, man. It's just such a cool hang there, man. So
few days, tons of songs. A few days, tons of songs.
Yeah, I mean, geez, I think we banged. We literally finished up like 4 or 5 songs. I mean, we had a handful, 6 songs, unbelievable. Sent them over for Tom to sing, bounced them back over. Yeah, so I mean, me and Tom had flights booked. Right, literally the day after Easter, we were heading over to Alessio's in London.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit and shut everything down.
Just before this weird year started.
At least we all figured out a way to be productive.
And you were actually sick. I remember you said you were like you were, you know, I guess you don't really know for sure, but kind of assumed, hey, you might have caught the bug and you were laying low and
I actually had it. Yeah, it was.
No, he did. He had the COVID.
Yeah, it wasn't nice at all, to be honest.
Nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop us. You know, just to make.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Always straight. You know, straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was it? Tell us about your COVID experience.
Literally one night I thought I was at the studio. I was finishing a mix, and I thought I don't feel all right. You know, when you start having a bit of fever and stuff, and I thought I'm not feeling good. You know, so I went home. Yeah. I had a little bit of fever. I thought, it's all right. You know, I'm just tired because I was working like 3 weeks in a row. So I thought I'm just tired maybe. And then the day after I felt a bit better. Went back to the studio, finished the mix and stuff, and again I had a bit of fever. And not feeling good. And then lasted for 12 days in a row, literally. So by the end of it, I was like literally just like a cloth, you know. Literally, you know, I was so tired and stuff, and I started to cough and everything, and it just wasn't nice, you know. It wasn't nice. Yeah, it was a whole month, you know. So
Jesus.
Yeah,
but kept mixing the whole time. The COVID mix.
Yeah, you do. The sofa,
it's a new album title, No COVID.
Yeah, no COVID. Yeah, instead of no cover, no COVID.
Exactly.
No COVID.
Hey, there's still time to change our title. Maybe we should do that. We should put a little Exodus line through it.
Yeah, but it was awesome.
For sure.
Yeah. And then you were just down in Italy, right? You were just down hanging with Andy, right? Didn't you just go down and you took your family down there?
Yeah,
right?
I went in August. It was so hot. I mean, I couldn't remember how hot Italy was, you know, until I got there. Oh man, it's so hot here. But because England, you know how it is.
Well, Alessio used to live. It's just over the bridge. We just live.
Totally, yeah.
Me here. A bridge and Alessio there, where he used to live, of course. Now it's
you know, it's funny. So Kiko introduced me to Andy, I believe, right? Isn't that how we met? Kiko introduced it. Well, we played in Bologna, ironically, and you came down, and it was funny because Cobra from Cobra and the Lotus, her mother manages her basically, and she hit me and said, "Hey, we're looking for a guitar player," and I think I mentioned to Kiko. I said, "Hey, do you have any recommendations? They're kind of in a jam and they'll need a guitar player." And he says, "Man, my friend Andy." And so then we met literally like that next day or that night. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then bang, you got the gig. And then it's funny as things kind of turned, you know, you played with me and Frank Bello, which is funny because Ron, you know, you and Christian, who is the drummer in Dead by Wednesday, we did the dates in America when we played at St. Vitus when me and it's funny, we've done so much stuff. We did Bass Story together, which was kind of my solo thing, and then you did your solo thing. We did that together across kind of the New England area,
which led to us, which led to the Ellefson
that was what
band.
2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
2 years ago. I remember we had Thanksgiving, which is a big you know, United States holiday.
We did.
At Plymouth Rock, dude, which is like where, you know, the settlers came over. Yeah.
Wow.
No, we actually had Thanksgiving dinner in a casino in Buffalo.
Oh, we did. But then the next day, and it was the guy that wrote.
We were in Plymouth Rock right before or right after, which was.
That what it was, yeah. The guy who wrote Nick Menz's book, Middle Life, he was there. Remember, we had dinner with him. Yeah. And then you and me went down, and you actually legitimately had like a pilgrim's hat.
No, you didn't. I still have it here somewhere. That was yours. They gave that to you. I still have it somewhere here. They brought David
Ron was wearing it.
Yeah,
Ron was wearing it because Ron, you were going for the full pilgrim hat in the whole tour. It was very fucking metal. Yeah. So we stood at Plymouth Rock. Remember, you think about, you read it as a kid, the settlers come over from England and they land at Plymouth Rock. You think it's this massive freaking thing. Dude, it's a stone. It's about as big as the tire on your car. You're like, dude, that's the rock? They hit that, and that's how they landed, and they crashed or whatever. They came over. So, but yeah, then that led to we played with you and me and Frank Bello and Christian. We did a couple of dates, and then we went over and played with Slash just like maybe a month later. And Andy, you came over for that. You came up, and then from there, that led to all of us collaborating on the Ellefson stuff, right?
Exactly.
And
how crazy.
Yeah. And then Andy brought in Paolo Cardi. Dude, remember we played at the club in Legends Club, right, in Milan? And remember, that was when we were just doing bass stories. So we were kind of playing some cover tunes. And one of the ones I always like to play was like Wrathchild by Iron Maiden. And so I thought, all right, we're all plugged in. Let's sound check. And you said, what should we play? I said, tell you what, why don't we just kick off with Wrathchild real quick, just to kind of warm up and sound check and kind of get levels. Dude, and he counted that off and started playing. And I fucking for sure, I thought that was Clive Burr over there playing. It was amazing how the feel of Paolo. I mean, Paolo's like my favorite drummer.
And I heard about that for 2 years until he actually ended up being our drummer. Like David's like, this drummer in Italy is my favorite drummer. He plays just like Clive Burr. Like literally until he ended up being our drummer for the European tour. And now he's the drummer on the record and the band.
Oh my God. He's so good. Yeah. He's
last night he was on stage with us as well. Because he used to play even so there were the 3 drummers at some point playing drums, in a song. And one was Paolo.
It's like Sepultura, like Soulfly.
And then the funny thing is on No Cover, Paolo's the drummer on the whole actual Ellefson studio record, but we had so many amazing guests on No Cover that I think Paolo ended up playing on 2 songs. What did he play on? Billy Idol and Not Fragile.
Rebel Yell.
And Rebel Yell.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Rebel Yell and Not Fragile. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's Sweet of Fate.
Sweet
FA. There you go. There you go.
Dude, we were just talking about how great is Sweet FA. I mean, how great it's just it's one of those tracks. I remember I was literally standing in my backyard and me and Tom were just running down songs to play. And we thought we should do a Queen song. And it's like, okay, we could do like Death in Two Legs or, one of the heavier ones. And then it's like, Sheer Heart Attack could be the song. And I'm like, who's going to sing that? Like, we have no one. And right away, Tom goes, dude, Bumblefoot. He's the secret weapon. So it's like Ron, he's the secret weapon on the whole record, Yeah.
On that song.
And then Ron, and it was so great because again, I didn't know how to sing that song, so Ron went and laid down a whole vocal track, and then I went in and kind of did my stuff over it, and then Ron's stuff, it all kind of, and then Dora was on it, so it all kind of got blended together. But Ron and his amazing Queen stylings were the impetus behind that whole song and how it worked out. And
Unreal.
All the harmonies and all the harmony bending.
I know.
I know.
Wow.
But literally,
well, it's funny when we were after we did Andy, when we were in Europe to do the Slash dates for Altitudes and Attitude, right? We came home and me and Frank and Ron and Christian, we did a short little run of some Altitudes and Attitude dates in America. And I remember that was right as that tour started. I remember when we picked you up at the airport, you had just gotten the gig with Asia. And you were telling me about how John Wetton would bend these notes and man, you really understand vocals and singing and the details and the nuances of it, man. It's very impressive, It's Yeah, no, it's more than try. You really nail it, man.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, it's great. So good. And Alessio, you're a great singer. I remember when we would need like some midnight, oh shit, we need a little like fill in the gap, and it's like, oh gosh, we're all sleeping. Alessio, quick, throw a woo in there.
I had a mic on the desk while I was mixing. So Andy was like, I think we need something there. And then I got an email from you. Oh, okay, let me do it. So sing something, put it down, keep mixing. So it was a combination of things,
Yeah, we need the mix yesterday. Oh shit, Alessio, can you throw a quick thing on there?
No, it's good. So. It's been awesome, man. It's been awesome. It's great experience. Everybody's great.
Well, it's really something, when you can sing. I mean, again, as a bass player, I sang when I was like a little kid, and my voice was really high like this. And then I turned like 13, and my voice went, it literally dropped like an octave. And it was harder to sing rock stuff because my voice is so clean, and I'm just not a good dirty rock singer. You know what I mean? But I could always grab the Michael Anthony high harmony thing, right? Nice. Which is like the end of Peace Sells and stuff. I'd always go, Peace Sells, but who's buying? I'd always go grab those. That's kind of just my natural thing is to do that. But I always admire, again, with singing, I always tell musicians, it's like, if you can sing, it just sort of adds a little extra insurance policy to your gig, because singing just, you help create a sound. It's funny. So yesterday we did a whole like 70s rock jam my son and I driving home from California. So we're listening to Sweet, whole bunch of Stick stuff, and when I was a kid, awesome. A lot of this record is a lot of the stuff that I first heard on the radio, everything from BTO Kiss, Styx, all this stuff. And we don't have any Styx on there. Tom and Melody said, look, as soon as David starts suggesting Styx songs, that's when you know you're done with the record, right? That's too much. Right. And I love Styx. I think they're great, but right. But it's
I love Styx too, but that's just the line.
So Tom drew the line. Tom drew the line there. Plus, I don't know how we, Come Sail Away would be a little hard. Then, we'd have to get the keyboards and be a whole other level. But it's funny, the Moog synthesizer. It's amazing how the Moog, when that came in, of course, there's the LPs, Styx, the Taurus pedals, of course, the Geddy Lee had and stuff like that. But it's funny how the Moog synthesizer just totally transformed the 70s. Because, it's funny. So if rock and roll formed in the 50s, the exploration of the electric guitar was really in the 60s, but by the 70s was the refinement. The 70s really seems like they kind of had it together. Production of records was better. Hendrix and the Beatles and everybody had kind of been exploring. But the 70s, man, rock guitar got real, And then, of course, there was still, the EBO and the talk box and, Pat Travers said the flanger and, there's, some exploratory stuff, but it was, I don't know. I'm a kid of the 70s, so I guess it's kind of my thing, but it seems like it just got better. You know what I mean? The production was better.
And I think that's kind of the cool thing about No Cover is me and Andy are more 80s kids and you and Ron are more 70s kids. Yeah. So it was cool. Like you picked a lot of more 70s stuff. And I was kind of like, let's do Def Leppard. Let's do Wasp. But some of that stuff, like Def Leppard, we talk about, we both love Def Leppard, but you were into On Through the Night, and I was kind of more into. I love On Through the Night, but I'm a Pyromania Hysteria guy, So.
Yeah, makes sense.
So someone just asked us
On Through the Night.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I said, me and Tom just did an interview the other day, and it made me realize that I quit buying records about the year Tom started buying them because he's 10 years younger than me. The year we started Megadeth, and all of a sudden at that point I'd hear things on the radio, but I was, I wasn't really buying records anymore. Plus I lived in California and I dove into straight absolute destitute poverty, to start the band, and I had no money to do anything except complete poverty. It's like. Yeah, I didn't get records until we got signed to Capitol, and we'd go over there and they just opened the vault and let us take stuff home, But even then it was Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In, the new Duran Duran record, Bob Seger, Like a Rock, and maybe some old Beatles and Frank Sinatra stuff or something. So.
I'll tell you, that was my favorite part of the Hollywood music business experience was going to, and it really got good like when Interscope swallowed everything. So it was like Interscope, Geffen, MCA, like you could go in the product room and just fill up a fucking garbage bag and take it home.
Yeah, just pilfer this stuff. Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah, hey, you boys want anything? And they'd open the closet. You're like, I'll take one of everything, and just slide it right into the garbage bag.
I would take three of everything, and then I'd go up immediately to Aaron and go sell them.
You put a little shop.
Exactly. Tape trading. Hey, so someone asked, what did they ask about? What is one band that each of you would like to go? What was it to go see?
An unknown band that you think should be bigger.
Huh.
Or like
Alessio, what do you think? What's an unknown band you think should be bigger?
I mean, let me think about it because there's a few, I think.
Sure. Andy?
And you can plug your own bands, by the way.
Of course.
I agree, Shannon. We could have done Miss America by Styx, but anyway, we'll do that on No Cover number 2.
No Cover 2, exactly.
Yeah, which will have another 28 songs on
it. That'll be a triple album.
Well, Andy, they're thinking, what is your favorite?
Yeah, who would have known this would be such a hard question?
Yeah,
it's a hard one, man. Because if you have to say one band, it has to be a good one.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one. Just say some. I mean, look, we got a bunch of great kind of up-and-coming bands on Combat and EMP, Supreme Unbeing, and They Might Be Zombies, and those guys are great. I mean...
the band I keep telling you guys about, Frozen Crown. I love them. And you know how I know them? And it's funny, I think the Federica, right, who sang with us, so I think that the husband who's like the writer guy in Frozen Crown, he also works with Federica's band, right? And didn't she just come to your gig last night? Did she just say? And it's funny, how I know them is their guitar player. She's a girl. She looked like Beyonce in the Austin Powers Spy Who Shagged Me movie, right? She's pretty striking looking. And Kiko's like, yeah, she's a guitar player. Like, I remember that she helped Dave McGraw do some of our VIP meet and greets, I think in Switzerland and one other date. And Kiko's like, yeah, she's a guitar player. Like, Kiko knows everybody. He's like you Italians. He's connected to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so she's in that band, and they're a great, so female fronted, but great two guitar, so guitars, female guitarist, female singer. And, I love a lot of the power metal kind of symphonic metal stuff, but a lot of it is, to me, it has to have clear vocals and be written well and have some melodic thing that hangs with me. So that's one.
Nice.
And there's a little band out of the Bay Area called Metallica that shows promise too.
Yeah, I think they're going to be huge, man. I got that Kill 'Em All album that just came out.
Yeah,
Let's give them a chance.
Let's give them a chance.
What wasn't the guy from your band in that band?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's hope. Yeah. Anyway.
So
anyway,
I think they did a little
silliness.
album with an orchestra or something lately.
Yes,
Something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Power metal, power symphonic power metal.
Also, I have to mention the Loyal Order too. They're another one of our bands.
Super great. Super great. Yep.
You know that there's a band from London actually. They were rehearsing at our rehearsal studio ages ago. They're called Nova Twins.
Nova Twins.
Yeah, they're two girls.
They're actually getting pretty big.
Yeah, and when they were rehearsing literally from the start, they were probably 14 when they started rehearsing at our studios.
Wow.
And they were already really cool. They had that kind of Rage Against the Machine vibe. And
nice. Yeah.
And I went to see them live, and they were rocking like 3-4 years ago. I
Nice.
thought, wow, this is something. This is really something. And everybody was really into it. When you see you can really feel the vibe, even to other people. But
you kind of know right away, don't you? You can feel it in the room. You kind of know right away. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And they are really good, really good. So, I hope they're gonna go a long way, because they deserve it.
Ellefson S&M.
Ellefson S&M is a whole other thing.
Wow.
I really like about new bands sometimes, and I really look for is to see if they're really hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hungry and angry. Like they really want to do it. They really want to.
Because if they're hungry, they can go to Italy and eat, and if they're really angry, they can kickbox with Andy.
I can book them a flight.
Hey, Ron, what's a band that you think should be bigger, or a new up and coming band that you?
All right. In the prog metal world, definitely the band Thank You Scientist.
Okay.
They're getting some popularity, but phenomenal band. To me, they're like the perfect blend of everything you could possibly love about it. They have it all. They absolutely have it all. They have so much melody and so much intelligence and so much. They're just so interesting. Even just the instrumentation. They got 2 horn players and a violinist.
Wow.
Besides a guitarist, a drummer, and a bass player and a singer. Yeah. And they do amazing stuff musically.
Hey, I just want to give a plug to one record that you did with Scott Stapp of Creed. Is that Sons of Anarchy? Is that what that was?
Art of Anarchy, yeah.
Art of Anarchy.
Sons of Apollo and Art of Anarchy.
Art of Anarchy, yeah.
Sons of Anarchy, Art of Apollo.
That was an amazing. You played that for me when we were driving around on the Bay Story tour, and I got to say that is probably the best record Scott's done since the Creed Human Clay record, which was amazing. I mean, dude, you really. I mean, I just can't even sing your praises enough as a writer and a producer. And working with Scott on that record, I mean, that's, I don't know. You guys should do something with it.
Well, and the record they did with Scott Weiland was the first record with Scott Weiland, which was amazing.
Yeah,
too.
but the one with Stapp was better in my opinion. And I don't know, maybe it was quality of material, maybe it was a better fit of the voice to the tracks. The Scott Weiland one was good, but I thought.
But no, you're right. The Scott Stapp one's way better.
The Stapp one's amazing, man. I mean, it's super.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So one more band.
Okay.
It's a duo from the southern desert of Israel. It's 2 kids. One sings and plays guitar, and he's got this real, just like Nirvana vibe to him. And the drummer, he plays the whole entire kit with just one arm and plays bass on a keyboard while singing backing vocals, and he's got pocket and he grooves, and they just kick ass. And they're great songwriters, great lyricists. So I flew out to Israel. I produced their album. They called the Dodies, Dodies, and they got to play you their stuff. You're gonna love it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Gotta check it out. Really good stuff.
Okay.
They just made a video where they drew everything for months and made just like. I got to show you this shit.
So these guys are out of the box thinkers for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And just great stuff. Yeah.
So and to that end, what's your favorite food in Israel?
For me,
Yeah.
favorite food in Israel. Damn. Well, the fish is so fresh. There's always great fish. I used to go to this one place in Tel Aviv called Old Man in the Sea. That was just kicked ass. They were just a million. It was like when you get Korean food and there's just a million side dishes. It was like the same thing. Only it would be this like, just all kinds of just things with tahini and hummus and this and that and just great stuff. The Jew is coming out of me now. You hear me? Hummus.
Oy vey. Yes. It's funny. We played there on Passover weekend. I remember we landed and it was, the whole pilgrimage from all over the world was coming there, right? And I mean, the airport was insane and people were going up to Jerusalem. And I remember I got to the hotel and I had a bag of coffee. So I asked them if they would grind the coffee. And they said, oh, no, we cannot, sir. We cannot run any machines on the Sabbath, right? So I'm like, are you fucking kidding? So I go out and I'm literally outside on my patio of my hotel with my boots on, smashing my coffee beans so I could make a French press, right? So I finally get them, so I make a French press and then I remember, so the next day, and so we go through Passover. The next day, as soon as the sun goes down, Passover's over, and man, the crowd came alive, and then we had the Megadeth show, right, the next day. So the following day, which would have been, that would have been Saturday. Would that have been Saturday night, or that would have been Sunday? Passover.
I guess Saturday. Well,
so it would have been Sunday.
Well, the Shabbat or the Sabbath begins Friday night and ends Saturday night.
So it's Saturday night. Yeah. So the show would have been Saturday night. So Sunday morning, I go down to the kitchen. I go, okay, can you please grind my coffee? And they look at it. They go, oh, sorry, it's not kosher coffee. I'm like, you're killing me here. I just tried to get in Italy, they would never do this. In Italy, they'd be like, hey, eat, hey. So it was a rough week. And then it's funny, the next weekend we played, it was in America, it was Easter. And that was when we did the Big Four show in Indio. So we were like on this major religious holiday world tour, first Passover and then Easter is like, okay, we got to stop booking these holiday gigs, man.
Did you play in Mecca?
In Mecca?
What is that? No, Mecca. M-E-C-C-A.
No, in Mecca, yeah.
Just finish it all,
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
all right.
Did you have a Seder?
Did not have a Seder. My son's been to a Seder. Roman went to Seder. He had some friends here in town. He got invited to a Seder. He enjoyed it, actually. It was pretty cool. He liked it. So, anyway.
Well,
all right.
now you know what lengths David Ellefson will go to have his coffee in the morning.
Speaking of coffee, I'm going to have to go make some here shortly.
If I drink one now, I will never sleep again.
Yeah. Well, for you, it's midnight right now, right?
Is it actually right now midnight?
Yeah. It's midnight. And for you, it's 1 a.m. Yeah. Do you have to teach tomorrow? Because you've got the music school, Andy. Do you have to be at school tomorrow?
Now we're just organizing. We're gonna start full on next week. Tomorrow morning, I got the boxing training, so I'm gonna get my face smashed.
Perfect.
School's out for the summer. Nice.
It's all right. It's okay. Well, next week is going to start full on, but it's
very nice.
It's good.
So real quick before we wrap up, so what's everybody's fit now? No covers done. The smoke is cleared. What are your favorite songs on the record and why?
Ooh. Can we pick up like just one or two?
As many as you can pick as many as you fucking want. I'm not. There's no rules. No. There's no rules here.
You're not jealous. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me.
All right, Dave, you go first.
Sure. I mean, again, I love Sheer Heart Attack is great. And Ron, you killed that. And with Doro singing on it. I love Rebel Yell just because it's one of my favorite albums. I mean, there's like every note is perfect. Every song is great. That's one of the, when I get asked in interviews, what are the 3 records you would take to a desert island if you only had 3? That's always one of them. So I'm really, and Andy, you actually suggested that we do that cover, so that was very
that
cool.
that was actually a plan that we all concocted in Italy on tour. We literally, me, Paulo, and Andy were sitting around talking about doing a Billy Idol cover. Then we're like, we should, and we were going through the list. And,
it was doing the tour. Yeah, it was doing the tour.
He'll do Billy Idol, but he won't do Styx. I mean, come on. All right, so this is now the grudge, the impetus to the second album. Now, I'm going to get started on this.
Fine, we'll do Styx. We'll do Styx, but it's going to be Mr. Roboto.
No!
Kilroy was here.
Kilroy! Kilroy! I can hear it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, man. I mean, it's, Free Will Burning's great. And that really wasn't my era of Judas Priest, to be honest with you. Again, I always go back to Unleashed in the East or British Steel or something like that. So that was kind of one of the, and I mean, a great song. I just love playing Ian Hill bass lines is great. So that for me was probably a cool, kind of a fun surprise track. And it was fun to do Love Machine. By Wasp. Again, my career was already taken off by that point, so we were deep into Megadeth world, so I didn't really buy Wasp records, but I always liked them. I loved the production of their records. Their guitar tones were always great. Yeah. And then to play with Dirk on that, Dirk and I had just gotten done cutting the Megadeth record together, so it was fun to just kind of saddle up again and play on that track. So I don't know. Those are just a couple of mine. So, Bubble, how about you?
Unmuting myself. Okay. Let's see. Now, is it out there, public knowledge, all the list of songs and everything that are on there?
Yeah, everything but the last one, but who cares?
Okay. Go ahead. I like the stuff where me and Andy were trading off. Yeah. So, Sweet Thing, the Ozzy. But then at the same time, I like a lot of the, for vocal aspects of it, I like doing Free Will Burning with my backing vocals and that I had in there, just hitting that. What would happen is there would be a song, and then suddenly out of nowhere, I would just get a text from Tom. He'd be like, can you do backing vocals on this song? I was like, where? It's like the whole song, every line.
Tonight, and it's 1 a.m. Yeah. If you could do it right now, would be great.
Pretty much, yeah. So the show's like, yeah, let's do it. And so Wasted, I think, came out really nice with that.
Yeah, I agree.
It worked. It just picking which lines you wanted to use. Yeah. And what else? I mean, there's just a lot of good stuff, and it's unusual. It's not common covers. It's a lot of songs.
We could have called it deep cover too, and that would have worked because it's all pretty deep.
Super duper deep cuts. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Alessio? You got to mix all of them. So any standouts?
I think one that stood out for me was Nailed to the Gun, just because.
Wow! Yeah.
I remember buying live. What is it called? Live Resurrection, I think it was called. Robot for Live, and they played actually that song, and I love the song. So when I got to mix it, I thought, wow, this is like
that is a great Halford record too. That live Insurrection. Oh, freaking amazing! Yeah. That it's funny. That's funny you mentioned that. That is one of the one. You talk about bands that are unsung that could be more popular. Halford, especially that era. Oh my God, such a great.
I really like that Resurrection record, man, and Roy's production on it was amazing.
Amazing. When it came out, both me and Andy, we loved it. We literally, we were nuts for it. And Nailed to the Gun, I thought came out really well. Really heavy and has that kind of vibe, and it was like I think it's a step up. In a sense of how big it sounds, so I thought I love that song. But there's so many Auf Wiedersehen, love it. It just sounds when you hear Benante and you guys playing, it just works so well, and amazing. But I would say those two maybe, but I like them all, they're all really cool, I think, they're really cool in their own way.
Yeah.
Andy, what do you think? What do you think, Andy?
Cambodia, because I like Dead Kennedys. I like punk music. So yeah, and a Rebel Yell, Free Will Burning, because I listen to that song every week. Anyway.
That actually goes back when we were on tour in Europe, when me and Andy and Paulo and we were listening to that record on repeat in the van.
Wow.
So again, that song kind of goes back to the tour too.
Nice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And then Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen, I like it because it's very. Yeah. I mean, the original song is already killer, and we made it like a very intense and I mean, I love that, and it's simple, but it just kicks you right in the
works,
face.
Yeah. Thom, how about you?
Man, this is hard. I mean, like I love Auf Wiedersehen. I mean, making that with Al and Charlie, and now the video is almost done. We went to LA and shot a video with Al, and Charlie and Andy sent some footage in, and so I think that video is actually going to come out this week. So Auf Wiedersehen. I love Rebel Yell. I mean, Love Machine was really fun to sing, and I love the way that came out. Holiday in Cambodia. Man, honestly, the whole fucking record. I mean, it's just, I honestly like it. There's not one shitty, BTO, Not Fragile. I mean, that's one of the ones that we kind of made our own a little bit, and that one turned out so great. And John Eccolino from Icon played on it. Eat the Rich kind of became a surprise favorite in the last, in the stretch with Opus and Dave from Dead by Wednesday and Jason McMaster's on. I mean, that one turned out to be one of my favorites too. The way it turned out, man. And it really, Eat the Rich is pretty fucking cool.
Cool.
Very true.
Nice.
There are so many, and we kind of all of us together. I mean, made it special. All of them were special. Like respecting, paying tribute to the original, but just playing with our way to play, basically, which is to sing, to play.
Yeah. And Andy, I will sing your praises, dude. The muscle of your guitar playing and the power of it really defined the basis. I mean, it's that it's funny when I play with Andreas Kisser. When Andrew, like, you can be on the deck and kind of sound checking, but when he walks up, plugs into his stack and turns everything to 10, that's now the level, right? All boats rise. You are that guy, right? It's like wherever Andy sets the frickin', that's it. That's everything comes up to that level. And it's not just the volume; it's the power and the intensity and your tone, and it's great because you sort of define it. Then all of us sort of fill in the bass and the vocals and everything around it. You're our James Hetfield, dude. You're the Hetfield of the band.
Wow. And Andy really, I mean, Andy, look, Andy, this whole fucking record, and this is our writing process. And people always ask me, like, how do you guys write? How do you record? And, Andy and Alessio, but look, what we do is Andy, whatever it is, and on No Cover especially, we'd go, okay, we want to do this song. Andy would map it all out with fake drums and guitar and put a skeleton together, send it to me and David. I go to Madison, to Matt LaPlante, and track the vocals. David tracks his bass, and then Alessio takes it all in, and Ron tracks his stuff in New Jersey at his studio, and and then on No Cover, the guests would do their stuff. We'd send it all, to Alessio, who would take it and put it on. But Andy, really, the impetus behind the vibe of all of these songs on No Cover, really it is Andy, man. He really laid that amazing foundation, that we can all take.
He's our MVP, most valuable player. Yes.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it really is true, man. And the funny thing is me and Thom would have conversations during the day and come up with 6 new songs, email them to Andy. So when he wakes up in Italy at like 9 a.m., hey, 6 more songs, and then he'd get them back.
You have no idea. Some of this shit, I'm in Madison, like Love Hurts. I remember I was in fucking Madison tracking vocals. David calls me and goes, dude, I want to do Love Hurts. I'm like, okay. Literally the next day, Andy had the skeleton to me and I'm singing the fucking song. Like, it was just, it's like that level of craziness.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's what we would do with Ron. Hey, Ron, can you put 8 vocals down on Sheer Heart Attack by like this afternoon?
I know. But that's how we do everything, though, man. We just work at this. I mean, this whole record we made in 2 months with 50 guests on it. I mean, that's just kind of the pace we work at. And we finally found the other guys who can kind of work at that pace with us. That's what's so great about these guys right here, man. These, the guys on this stream make everything happen with the Ellefson band, and without these guys, forget about it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Really, really appreciate you. Really, seriously.
Amazing.
Super
Well done,
awesome.
everybody.
Super awesome.
It's a
Yeah.
killer team. You made like a Guinness World Record. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
And we're coming over to party either in England or Italy as soon as we can, as soon as a plane will leave the ground. As soon as we get a flight out of Newark, right, Ron? Then we're straight over. We'll just go hang out and party it up over in Wembley or down in Verona. So, all right, gentlemen. Well, listen, thanks for hanging. It's late over there. We'll let you guys get to sleep and get rocking. So thanks for joining us.
Guys, thanks a lot for having us. Amazing.
Good to see you guys.
Yep, Ron. Great to see you, buddy.
bye-bye.
We'll sign it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sir. October. We're gonna go rock some shows.
Yes,
David and
Ron will
Bumblefoot.
be with us. Yeah, Ron will be with us. Andy, you're invited to come over, but so far no planes are flying here. No one.
The flights. Yeah, that's the only thing.
I know. Next fucking year we'll do it somehow. I promise.
We'll do more. We'll meet in Japan or Europe or somewhere, and off we go. You know.
Ready to go.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, listen. Happy Labor Day to those in the United States. Is that what you would you say? Happy Labor Day or happy don't go to work day? No labor. No Labor Day. So, all right. Well, listen. Have a good one, Tom. We're out.
We're out.
We're out. Rock
Take
and
care,
roll.
everybody.
Over and out. See you.
Bye, guys.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.